Hi, hello, namaste. A very warm welcome to bio classes. We have started a molecular basis of inheritance chapter, the major chapter. Already we have seen what are the major raw materials required for the construction of a DNA. That is a major genetic material in almost all organisms. We observed there the nucleotides are responsible for construction of the macromolecule DNA. We observed that thing. And what actually that a nucleotide is? It is the monomer for the DNA. It's one monomer, and that nucleotide it is made up of three components majorly: nitrogen base, pentose sugar, and phosphate. And also we observed how the nitrogen base connected to the pentose sugar, how the pentose sugar get connected to the phosphate. So all these together forming a nucleotide. And if the nitrogen base combined to the sugar, then it forms a nucleoside. If the nucleoside connected to the phosphate, then it becomes a nucleotide. If so many nucleotides are connected, then it forms one chain, polynucleotide chain. What it is going to form? Polynucleotide chain. Such kind of a polynucleotide chain strand is a DNA, right? And also we observed one nucleotide combining another nucleotide with the help of hydrogen bond. Then it is going to form base pair, and the DNA is having so many base pairs. So that thing we observed. Today, let me continue with that same structure. That is the structure of DNA. A very interesting one and a major concept of this chapter. Structure of DNA. Yes. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದಾವೆ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸಾರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ರೀಸನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಟ್ನಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇದು, ಹೌದಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥಿಯರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಿಕಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಿಂದ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಇಯರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, DNA ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ನೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ, CET ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅದರ್ಲಿಂತಾನೆ ಅರೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಾರಿ ಅದೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಇದೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಾರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಶೋ ದ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ವೈಲ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್, ವೈಲ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ನಾನು ಅದ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ PDF ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಆರಂಭಿಕ ಶೂರರ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರಿ ಎನರ್ಜೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ, ಭಾರಿ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸಮ್ ನಿಂತ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದು, ನೀವ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾಳೆ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಮೈಂಡೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಸೊ ಬಹಳ ಜನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಮೈಂಡೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾಳೆಗೆ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನೂ ಇರ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ನೀವು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ವೈಲ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ, ಯಾರೊಬ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ನೀವು ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವಾಚ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕೀಗ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳುದು, ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗ್ರಿ. ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಏನೇ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, whatever the questions or whatever the difficulties or doubts you are getting while watching the video or while reading the text, So please be interactive with the classes and please text the questions. So WhatsApp number ತಗೊಂಡಾದ್ರೂ text ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ, right? Okay, so let's have the look on structure of DNA, how the deoxyribonucleic acid, that structure is made up of. And before going to that actual structure, let me see the polynucleotide strand structure. DNA is nothing but polynucleotide strand. RNA also polynucleotide strand. Poly means many. Many nucleotides are joined to form a chain. Polynucleotide strand. But thing is, DNA is having two strands. Two polynucleotide strands. Hence, DNA is a double stranded. But RNA, it is having just one polynucleotide chain. One polynucleotide strand. RNA is single stranded, DNA is double stranded. How actually the DNA is double stranded? So most of the times we will see the DNA structure in this way. So this is the structure of DNA, right? We will observe the structure of DNA in this way. How actually the DNA structure, how actually we are going to get this kind of structure while we are writing the nucleotides, the base pair combination. Let me start with that concept. Okay, now already we have seen, let me revise it one. One nitrogen base combines with another nitrogen base. One nitrogen base combined to another nitrogen base. Say for example, adenine combines with thymine. Adenine is purine, thymine is pyrimidine. Both are combined with the help of two hydrogen bonds. Now, this side, nitrogen base combined to pentose sugar. Combined to what? Pentose sugar. And that pentose sugar connected to what? Phosphate. This is sugar, right? Nitrogen base, pentose sugar, phosphate. All together will get one nucleotide. Now this side, same. Nitrogen base combined to the sugar. Which is sugar? Pentose sugar. And what is the sugar name? Deoxyribose sugar. So here the orientation of the sugar is inversion, sorry, that is opposite here, the orientation. And now here also the phosphate is attached. Now this is one nucleotide and this is one nucleotide. Both the nucleotides are connected here. Now tell me, what is this bond? Yes, glycosidic bond. What is this bond? Phosphoester bond. And what this bond is? Hydrogen bonds. We will get one base pair. In the same way, we are having one more base pair. Let me consider another base pair. So let me consider the guanine. Guanine combines to cytosine with the help of three hydrogen bonds, right? Now as it is, the remaining structure is as it is. Combined to pentose sugar and that combined to phosphate. Now this side, here also it combined to pentose sugar and that is combined to phosphate. Now the thing is that here the third carbon is attached to the phosphate. Here also 1, 2, 3. Third carbon is attached to the phosphate. So what here indicating is that one sugar combined with two phosphate. One sugar combined with three phosphate. This is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. One sugar combined to the phosphate at fifth carbon and third carbon. That means two phosphoester bonds are formed. That we will refer it as a phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds. In the same way, let me consider another one. One more time. Thymine combined to adenine with the help of two hydrogen bonds. So the remaining structure same as it is, combined to sugar with the help of glycosidic bond and then it is connected to the phosphate. It is connected to what? Phosphate. This side, it is combined to the sugar, which is sugar, pentose, deoxyribose sugar. This is sugar, and then it is connected to phosphate, right? It is connected to what? Phosphate. Now, this side, 1, 2, 3, third carbon connected to phosphate, and at this side, sorry, 1 minute. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three. Yes. So in this way, many nucleotides are joined here continuously. Now we will refer this side as 3 dash. This is a 3 dash, and this side 5 dash or 5 prime. And this one 5 dash, and this side 3 dash. So what it indicates here? Here in the sugar, this is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. On the third carbon, OH group is present. There here in the structure, OH group is free. That OH group is free means it is a reactive group. Hence, here the reaction will occur. Hence, we will refer it as a 3 dash end. That is the major end. And at this side, consider here. This side, first, second, third. Third carbon already formed one bond with the phosphate. Now this is fourth carbon, and a fifth carbon is ring outside. Now to the fifth carbon, next phosphate will attach. But now it is not attached. Hence I will refer it as 5 dash end. It's opposite here, 5 dash and 3 dash. Now here this total structure is one nucleotide, and this total structure is another nucleotide. That means 2 nucleotides have been joined to form one base pair. Now tell me, how many base pairs are present here? 1, 2, 3. 3 base pairs. How many nucleotides? 6 nucleotides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nucleotides. Now, if you go on writing the same structure as it is, it forms one staircase-like structure. Okay. Let me consider here. What I am doing is, I will hold this sugar molecule and this sugar molecule. I will hold both the sugar molecules and I will drag the structure. So holding both the structures, I will drag it. Here also, I will hold this sugar and this sugar molecules and I will drag the structure. After dragging, sugar and below phosphate, sugar below phosphate after dragging. So after dragging, we will get the structure in this way. Right? Can we get the structure like this? So here this is 5 dash, 3 dash, 5 dash, and this side 5 dash, and this side 3 dash. So what these lines indicating here? Base pairs. So these center bases are combined, that center line indicating base pairs. Next, here these two structures are called as backbone of DNA. What we will call them as backbone of DNA. These two lines. Imagine, just like on a staircase. So on the staircase, we will having the two supporting structures, bamboo structures with the steps. So many steps. And the steps indicating the base pairs, like this, base pairs. And these are the side supporting structure, like this, zigzag. Like this, zigzag. So that structure here, it is in the linear line. That we will call it as a backbone of DNA. Now tell me, the backbone of DNA is made up of what? Yes, the backbone of DNA is made up of sugar and phosphate. It is made up of sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, or sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate. The backbone of DNA is made up of sugar, phosphate. How many backbones of DNA are there? 2 backbones of DNA are present, 1 and 2. And both the backbones of DNA are connected by these bases, combination of base pairs. This is how we can see the structure of DNA. right? 2 base pairs we are having. But in case of RNA, RNA is single stranded. It is not having the base pair. Why? Because the structure of RNA will be like this. So the structure of RNA will be like this. It is not having one more strand. And now we can say that A combines to T. Adenine combines to thymine. Guanine combines to cytosine. So this kind of combination we will call it as a complementary base pairing. What we will call it as complementary base pairing. So this is actually the structure of DNA. But how this structure of DNA we came to know? How we understood this structure first? So let me start with the scientist. The first scientist who observed the DNA content first, who observed that a nucleic acid first? Frederick Miescher. I told you once. Frederick Miescher identified, or he saw that the totals, that DNA structure first time, but he did not understand the importance of that material. Just he saw that structure at the center, at the cell center. But actually, one scientist, William Astbury. The scientist name is William Astbury. This scientist, he made the he studied the X-ray crystallography. Sorry, X-ray diffraction of DNA. What he did? He took one cell and he made the X-ray diffraction. Already you know, by using the X-ray we can get the diffraction effect. So it is on a photography like method. So by using X-ray diffraction, he got the structure of DNA. In which form? In a 3D form. So he got the 3D structure of DNA, 3-dimensional structure of DNA, but he did not get the clear structure of DNA. Just he observed the structure of DNA. And after this scientist, three scientists together. Three scientists. One is Wilkins, another one is Franklin, and another one is Gorling. Wilkins, Franklin, Gorling. All of these three scientists, they made another experiment on DNA to get the structure of DNA. What they did is they made X-ray diffraction, X-ray crystallography. So they made X-ray crystallography to get the actual attention of the DNA. So they made that total DNA into crystal form, X-ray crystallography. Then they understood DNA, it is made up of two strands. DNA, it is made up of two strands, double stranded. They assumed that one. DNA is double stranded. So all these scientists, they gave little bit idea regarding the DNA, but nobody understood what actually the structure of DNA, how actually the DNA structure is. But after these scientists, in 1953, two major scientists, in the year 1953. So one is James Watson, and another scientist is Francis Crick. James Watson and Francis Crick. These two scientists together in the year 1953, they elucidated the structure of DNA. Neatly, they gave the structure of DNA, how actually the DNA structure is, and they identified. And for their work, to say the exact structure of DNA, they used the result of all the scientists. Along with that, they took the help of one more scientist, and that scientist is Chargaff. Who is that scientist? Chargaff. So before that, already Chargaff had given one rule. So we'll call that rule as a Chargaff base pair equivalence rule. Chargaff base pair equivalence rule. So what that rule is? Just I'm giving you one idea. What actually that rule is. Say for example, he said that purine always pairs with pyrimidine. What he said? Purine always pairs with pyrimidine. What are those purine? Adenine and guanine. What are those pyrimidines? Thymine and cytosine. These are the 4 nitrogen base. Always purine combines with pyrimidine. And here what he said, the amount of purine in the DNA is equivalent to amount of pyrimidine in the DNA. Amount of purine is equal to amount of pyrimidine. Now tell me, which are those purine? Adenine and guanine. These are the purines. The amount of purine is equivalent to amount of pyrimidine. Pyrimidines are thymine and cytosine. So amount of purine is equal to amount of pyrimidine. That means, say for example, in a DNA, so I'll draw one structure in this DNA. So all of these are the base pairs, right? So many base pairs we are having. Now let me write the names them. Let me name them. Here adenine, this side thymine, guanine, cytosine, guanine, thymine, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine. So I written one sequence of DNA. This we will call it as sequence of DNA. Right? Now tell me how many base pairs are present here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9 base pair. Okay, let me add one more base pair. Adenine, thymine. Total how many base pairs? 10 base pairs are present. Out of 10 base pairs, number of purines is equal to number of pyrimidines. So, how many purines are present here? 1 purine. 1 A and G. These are purines. A and G are purines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are purines. Then how many pyrimidines? See here. 1, 2. So I'll mark here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So how many purines are present here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On this stand, 6. This stand. 1, 2, 3, 4. This stand 4. Here this stand 6. This stand 4. How many total? 10. 10 purines. Okay. Then how many pyrimidines? See here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This stand 4. This side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here 6. Total 10. 10 pyrimidines. That means amount of urine is equal to amount of pyrimidine. This is always constant. And there, one more further thing, amount of adenine is equal to amount of thymine. And amount of guanine is equal to amount of cytosine. That is also same. Or this equation we can write in another way. What is that way is A plus G. Okay, sorry, let us consider A plus T. A plus T divided by G plus C is always a constant. That ratio is constant. Ratio of purine and pyrimidine divided by ratio of purine and pyrimidine in the DNA is always constant. So by keeping this one, you can do that one. So this equation is given by Chargaff scientist. And this and this constant number, it is always constant for one species, particular species. For our DNA, the constant value is one type. For another DNA, the constant value is another type. So that is changing. And this constancy, this equation we will call it as the Chargaff's rule for basis equivalence. And that is given by Chargaff scientist. So these two scientists, James Watson and Francis Crick, in the year 1953, they used the result of, or they used the work of Chargaff, they used the work of all the scientists, they put together to give the structure of DNA. And they give the three-dimensional structure of DNA. So that structure we will call it as Watson and Crick model of DNA. What we will call it as Watson and Crick model of DNA. So how actually that structure is? Once let me draw the structure. Yes, this is the structure of DNA that we are looking for. Right? Now, here, this is the structure just like a staircase. And if that structure get spiraled, twisted, then we can get this kind of structure. This is the coiled form of DNA. Yes, this is a helical structure. What we'll call it as helical structure of DNA present in a three-dimensional form. This structure, it is given by Watson and Crick. Let me mention, same here. The same structure is twisted here, right-handed. It is twisted in a right-handed fashion, just like a spiral staircase. So in front of the shop, suppose we are having the 2-floor buildings. To get that upper floor, we will be going through that spiral staircase in most of the cases, like this. So one thing, we can move in this order, like this. We can move in this order, or else we can move in this order, right? That means two fashions are present here, in this way or in this way. So in this way, we will refer it as right-handed. This is left-handed. Now this DNA is a right-handed DNA. Right? This is right-handed DNA given by Watson and Crick. Now mention the ends. 3' to 5'. And this one 5' to 3'. Okay, this is the DNA. Now this total DNA, it is having two backbones. Two backbones. This strand is one backbone and this strand is one backbone. How many backbones we are having? Two backbones. I mentioned here. So this is backbone of DNA, right? And this backbone of DNA, it is made up of sugar phosphate. sugar phosphate, like this. It is made up of sugar phosphate lines. Sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate. And so here we are having nitrogen bases. Here one nitrogen, here one nitrogen base. Both are connected by the hydrogen bonds. That means so many nucleotides are joined to form a polynucleotide strand. And how many strands? Two strands are present here, right? Now, this total DNA, it is present in the nano size. Or if we consider the total length of DNA, the length may be present in a millimeter or micrometer depending upon the number of base pairs or number of nucleotides. Suppose the number of base pairs are less, then the length of DNA is less. Suppose the number of base pairs are more, then the length of DNA is more. If we consider our DNA length, our DNA total length is 2.2 meter. What is the total length? 2.2 meter. But our DNA is having 330 crore base pairs. Like this, 330 crore base pairs. That is haploid DNA. But how the number of base pairs are increasing more, then the length of DNA is increasing. Now in this DNA, if we consider its structure, features, special features of DNA regarding the structure, what features we can observe? So let us see one by one. First thing, this is right-handed DNA. First thing, yes, this is right-handed DNA. And second thing, DNA, it is present in helical form. It is present in spiral form, like this. It is present in spiral pen spring, like that. It is spiral form. And this DNA, it is having a turn. Turn means one circle total. Say for example, now this is my hand position, or else this is the position of the pen cap. This part, now it is front. Now it is rotating like this. Now it is rotating, and after now it is rotating, and again came to the same position. Now this is one turn, right? This is one turn. So for one turn, in how many degrees it has to rotate? It has to rotate in 360 degree. Now this DNA also rotating in 360 degree. So say for example, what I can use? Yes, the best example. Yes, imagine. Let us consider this wire is the DNA, right? Double stranded DNA. Sorry, double stranded DNA it is. Okay. Now this double stranded DNA is twisting in this manner. It is going to coil. Yes. Now it is a coiled. Yes, it is present in the spiral form. That means while coiling, it will rotate a 360 angle. Right? Now the DNA is rotating in 360 angle. When it will rotate one turn, we will consider it as one pitch. Now I'll mark the pitch. From this point to this point. This is one pitch of the DNA. One pitch or one turn. One pitch or one turn. So here one pitch is, it is rotating 360 degrees. Rotating 360 degrees, right? In one pitch, we are having two parts in one pitch. So I'll mark that part. This is one part. This is another part. Two grooves we are having. Groove. This portion we will call it as a groove. Like this. Groove. Two grooves we are having. So one groove is minor groove. What is the first one here? Minor groove. And the second one is major groove. we are having two grooves, minor groove, major groove. Both the groove together form one pitch, right? And here one pitch total length from this point to this point. The total length of one pitch is 3.4 nanometer. How much the total length from this point to this point? 3.4 nanometer. Nano means 10 to the power minus 9. So or else I can write it as 3.4 into 10 to the power minus 9 meters. So this much of small length it is. So that is one turn. So in that one turn, minor groove and major groove both are present. And that one turn it is having 10 base pairs. How many base pairs it is having? 10 base pairs. Like this. All these are base pairs. Total it is having 10 base pairs. Actually I have shown more base pairs. But actually from this point to this point, in between we can see the 10 base pairs. How many base pairs? 10 base pairs. But here number of base pairs are more. And here in between two base pairs gap. The gap between two base pairs. BPS means base pairs. That is 0.34 nanometer. Say for example, this is one base pair and this is one base pair. In between these two base pair, the gap is 0.3 nanometer, 0.34 nanometer. So what is the total length here from this point to this point? 3.4 nanometer. So here how many base pairs are present? 10. That means 3.4 nanometer divided by 10. How much? 0.34 nanometer. The gap between two base pair is that much. Right? And next one. So here, this is one stand, right? This is one stand. This is one stand. How many stands we are having? Two polynucleotide stands. Now, the gap between two stands, from this stand and this stand, the gap between two stands is the gap between two polynucleotide strand. Nucleotide strand is 20 angstrom. How much that is? The gap between these two, from this point to this point, the gap is 20 angstrom. 20 angstrom, or else I can write it as 0.2 nanometer. Angstrom means 10 to the power minus 10. This is 10 to the power minus 9. I can write in this way or in that way. So this is the gap between the two stands. And that gap is always constant. Imagine, just like the two train tracks. Both the train track will be going parallelly. And the distance between both the train track is constant. Here also the distance between two stands is constant. How much? 20 angstrom or 0.2 nanometer. Suppose if the train is moving on the both the tracks and both the tracks are keeping at the equal distance, in between the gap is a common constant. If that gap is varied, then the train would not go on that track. It may be fallen down. So here the gap between the two stands is constant. How much that is? 20 angstrom or 0.2 nanometer. And one more thing. So here the DNA will show complementary base pairing. Complementary base pairing. Just I told you, complementary base pairing means purine combines with pyrimidine. Purine combines with what? Pyrimidine. So that we will call it as complementary base pairing. And we are having two strands, two backbones of the DNA, right? This is one backbone and this is one backbone. We are having total two backbones of the DNA. And these two polynucleotide strands, they are parallel. Why? Because the distance is constant. Both the strands are parallel, but both the strands are anti-parallel. What both the strands are? Anti-parallel. So what it indicates? See here, in between the two strand gap is constant. In between the two strand gap is constant. But one strand direction is 3 dash to 5 dash, another strand 5 dash to 3 dash. That means opposite. Direction is opposite. Hence we will consider as anti-parallel strand. Both the strands are anti-parallel strand. Yes. This is how we can see the structure of DNA. Now, regarding this one, regarding this class, let me give one small homework example. Small example. What is the gap between two base pairs? Two base pair gap is 0.34 nanometer. That is the thing already we are having. Right? Now, question is that we are having one DNA molecule. We are having one DNA molecule, and that DNA molecule is having, let me write here, we are having a DNA. That DNA molecule is having 1.5 meter length. What is the total length of the DNA? 1.5 meter, not a nanometer. The total length I am talking about, 1.5 meter. Then how many base pairs are present? How many base pairs are present in the DNA? How many base pairs are present? What is the total length of the DNA? 1.5 meter. Then the total, how many base pairs are present in the DNA? So already I have given the values. Then find out how many base pairs are present. So this is homework for tomorrow's class. Yes. So after completing the homework, just send to my number. Yes. So in the next class, let us focus the functions. Sorry, how actually the DNA molecule get understood. How actually we came to know the material present in the cell as a genetic material. That is search for the genetic material. That is very interesting concept. So in the next class, let us see the search for a genetic material along with the packaging of a DNA. Yes. Thank you.